Cowboy, Bob Hayes, was inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor.
Drug abuse took a heavy toll on Bob Hayes' career, and the damage was clear when it kept him out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2004. Despite his incredible talent and achievements, his struggles with drugs overshadowed his legacy. Robert Lee Hayes, known as Bullet Bob, was a standout American sprinter and NFL player. After clinching gold medals at the 1964 Summer Olympics, he played as a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys for 11 seasons. Hayes is unique for winning both an Olympic gold and a Super Bowl ring. Despite his impressive achievements, he struggled with drug abuse, which caused significant issues later in his life. But before we tell you all the details, make sure to subscribe. In 2004, Hayes was on the verge of being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he didn't make it past the final round of selections. The decision sparked controversy, with many people feeling that there was bias against Dallas Cowboys players and others from certain NFL teams. Some believed Hayes' struggles with legal issues and drug abuse hurt his chances. On August 27, 2008, Hayes was named one of the senior candidates for the 2009 Pro Football Hall of Fame. After much anticipation, he was officially inducted into the Hall of Fame on January 31, 2009, as part of the class of 2009. The next day, a woman named Lucille Hester, who claimed to be Hayes' sister, revealed a letter that she said Hayes had written 3 years before he passed away on October 29, 1999. The letter was supposedly a message from Hayes in case he didn't live to see his induction. Despite this controversy, Hayes was officially inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on August 8, 2009. His former Dallas Cowboys teammate Roger Staubach and Hayes' son, Bob Hayes Jr., were there to unveil Hayes' bust, which was sculpted by Scott Myers. 6 members of Hayes' high school championship team also attended the ceremony. Later, in 2017, Hayes was also inducted into the Texas Track and Field Coaches Hall of Fame. His early life is what laid a strong foundation for him. Hayes went to Matthew Gilbert High School in Jacksonville, where he played as a backup halfback on the football team. In 1958, the Gilbert High Panthers had an amazing season, finishing with a perfect 12-0 record and winning the Florida High School Athletic Association Black School State Championship. They won the title with a 14-7 victory over Dillard High School from Fort Lauderdale, and over 11,000 fans watched the game. During a time when racial segregation was still very present, their achievement didn't get much attention. It wasn't until 50 years later that they were recognized as one of the top teams in Florida high school football history. Hayes was an exceptional athlete and got a football scholarship to Florida A&M University, which was a historically black college. At Florida A&M, he shone in track and field, never losing a race in the 100-yard or 100-meter events. Despite his talent, he wasn't invited to many meets by mainstream schools because of the racial climate at the time. In 1962, the University of Miami invited Hayes to compete at their meet, and he tied the world record in the 100-yard dash with a time of 9.2 seconds, a mark set the year before by Frank Budd. Hayes also set an indoor world record in the 60-yard dash with a time of 5.9 seconds. By 1963, Hayes broke the 100-yard dash record with a time of 9.1 seconds, a record that stood for 11 years until Ivory Crockett ran a 9.0 in 1974. He also set a world best in the 200 meters with a time of 20.5 seconds, though this time was never officially ratified. Hayes ran the 220-yard dash in 20.6 seconds despite running against an 8 mph wind. His impressive performance earned him a spot on the U.S. team for the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Hayes won the AAU 100-yard dash title 3 years in a row, from 1962 to 1964. In 1964, he was also the NCAA champion in the 200-meter dash. His Olympic bid caused him to miss part of his senior year. In recognition of his achievements, Hayes was inducted into the Florida A&M University Sports Hall of Fame in 1976, the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Hall of Fame in 1996, and the Black College Football Hall of Fame in 2011. His career was one of the best the NFL has seen. In the 1964 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys took a chance by selecting Hayes, known as Bullet Bob, in the 7th round with the 88th pick overall. They used a future draft pick, hoping the Olympic sprinter with limited football experience would develop into a top wide receiver. Hayes was also chosen by the Denver Broncos in the 14th round of the AFL draft, with a future selection. Hayes quickly made his mark in the NFL. During his first 2 seasons, he led the league in receiving touchdowns, scoring 12 and then 13. In 1966, he caught 6 passes for 195 yards against the New York Giants. In a game against the Washington Redskins, he set a franchise record with 9 catches for 246 yards, a record that stood until 2009. Hayes' incredible speed forced teams to use zone defenses and bump-and-run coverage to try to contain him. This strategy allowed the Cowboys' running game. In 1967, Hayes led the NFL in punt return yards, set a playoff record with 141 punt return yards in a game where the Cowboys beat the Cleveland Browns 52-14. He also caught 5 passes for 145 yards in that game, including an 86-yard touchdown. However, Hayes' career also included some memorable mishaps. In the 1966 NFL Championship game against the Green Bay Packers, Hayes missed a crucial block on linebacker Dave Robinson, which led to a key interception. In the 1967 Ice Bowl Championship game, Hayes was reportedly unable to disguise whether the play was a pass or a run because he kept his hands inside his pants to keep them warm, a tell that the Packers exploited. On July 17, 1975, Hayes was traded to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a 3rd-round draft pick. During his time with the Cowboys, Hayes wore number 22, a number that would later be worn by another Cowboys great, Emmitt Smith. In 1975, Hayes joined the San Francisco 49ers, where he teamed up with Gene Washington in the starting lineup. However, his performance didn't quite meet expectations, and on October 23rd, he was waived to make room for wide receiver Terry Beasley. Throughout his career, Hayes was known not just for his receiving skills, but also for his exceptional punt return abilities. In 1968, he led the NFL in punt returns with an impressive average of 20.8 yards per return, including a notable 90-yard touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hayes was selected to the Pro Bowl 3 times and earned first-team All-Pro honors twice, along with second-team All-Pro recognition twice. He played a key role in helping the Dallas Cowboys secure 5 Eastern Conference titles and 2 NFC titles. Hayes also appeared in 2 Super Bowls and was crucial in the Cowboys' first-ever Super Bowl victory after the 1971 season. This achievement made him the only person to have won both an Olympic gold medal and a Super Bowl ring. As his career progressed, defensive strategies evolved. The zone defenses and bump-and-run coverage that had once struggled to contain him now limited his effectiveness as a deep threat. Despite this, Hayes remained valuable as a decoy. He was the second player in Dallas Cowboys history to surpass 1,000 yards in a single season, achieving this in his rookie year with 1,003 yards. That season, he also led the team with 46 receptions and set franchise records for total touchdowns and receiving touchdowns. Over his 11-year career, Hayes accumulated 371 receptions for 7,414 yards and 71 touchdowns, maintaining an impressive 20 yards per catch average. This average remains a franchise record, and his touchdown reception record stood until 2017 when it was surpassed by Dez Bryant. Hayes also rushed for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns, gained 581 yards on 23 kickoff returns, and returned 104 punts for 1,158 yards and 3 touchdowns. In 1965, Hayes began a remarkable streak, catching a touchdown in 7 consecutive games. His 7,295 receiving yards are still among the top 6 in Dallas Cowboys history. Hayes holds 10 regular season receiving records, 4 punt return records, and 22 overall franchise marks, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest receivers in Cowboys history. In 2004, Hayes was honored by being named to the Professional Football Researchers Association Hall of Very Good. Sadly, on September 18, 2002, Hayes passed away in his hometown of Jacksonville due to kidney failure, following a battle with prostate cancer and liver issues. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.